It's an incredible journey, a story of a 24-year-old Texas man who was sentenced to life in prison for drug charges, a man who eventually found his way back.
I started doing drugs at a very young age, alcohol and drugs, and it just progressed. I got in trouble with the law a lot. I've had my dad's house raided by the DEA 4 or 5 times.
Michael Spillman was addicted to drugs before he turned 12. Taking drugs turned into selling drugs, and that eventually landed him in prison with a life sentence.
The first couple of years in prison, I was mad, I was bitter, blamed everybody else but me.
But soon after, Michael decided to take advantage of substance abuse and life skills programs inside of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice facility.
I took them both twice. I got involved with the vocational course, AC and refrigeration, which was like a 6-month course, 32 college credit hours.
And yet, for 2 years in these programs, he doubted his motives. Was he doing it for his mother? Was he doing it just to get parole?
And then one day, it just hit me that I could not leave prison the same person I was when I came in.
So Michael dove into every program he could get his hands on, even earning an associate's degree in business management while in prison.
So it's kind of like having your own little business, but not as much as outside.
He was then moved to another Texas facility which partnered with 2 local companies. Michael was hired by one of the companies, but instead of working on an assembly line, Michael wanted more.
I didn't want to put parts on a board. I wanted to be in the business side of it.
So he convinced the president of the company to put him in the purchasing department.
I was spending hundreds of thousands of dollars for the company. And it was just an incredible experience.
Michael continued to find success inside the facility. He eventually made parole, but not before spending 9 months at the Correctional Center, which MTC now operates.
Here I was, a guy with a life sentence. I was definitely institutionalized, came to prison when I was 24. I was pushing 34 and came to the Kyle unit. And wow, it was a different world.
Michael's prison time came to an end, but a new chapter in his life was just beginning.
I love coming back. I love seeing the guys. I love sharing with them.
A few months after being released, Michael returned to the Kyle Correctional Center as a volunteer to encourage offenders to change.
You know, I really enjoyed it. It was there's a lot of guys that are on the fence. And do I step this way or do I step that way? It was really nice.
It took 2 years to become an official volunteer with the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, but he did it. And that was 15 years ago, and he's been doing it ever since.
We have the opportunity in here to work on our education. We have the opportunity in here to work on our defects of character.
So Michael works with offenders at MTC's Kyle Correctional Center, sharing, inspiring, and encouraging.
Never give up hope, because there is hope. So it's been an incredible journey.
Michael got choked up thinking about how volunteering has helped him over the years.
I don't think they realize.
Michael's a shining example of how effective programming and caring staff can help change lives. Today, he's a successful businessman earning a great salary with a global multi-million-dollar company in San Antonio.
I'm very fortunate, but my 9 years in prison, 7 of those years were spent preparing myself.
And so Michael now helps offenders prepare themselves to be just as successful if they so choose.
It's just real interesting to watch some of the guys and their eyes spark up, when they start realizing, wow, I can do that. Yeah, you can do that.
And he reminds offenders that while it won't be easy transitioning back to society, it's worth it.
So use it as a motivational force to continue to propel you forward. And when things get tough outside, and we all know things get tough out here with our daily lives, sometimes I just have to take a breath and say, okay, 17 years ago, you were in prison with a life sentence. Are you telling me that this is worse?